Hello, everybody. This is Daniel Michael, and today I'd like to discuss a message I have for the Christian nationalists. Now, I'm going to start right off with good news. And here is the good news. And I also want people to know that I'm not criticizing all Christians, as they don't all fall into this category. But with all this 225 talk, with the policies and everything that are maybe on their way, I wanted to just open it up with some good news. Now hear me and hear the sound of my voice. There is no holy war being waged against you. Hear me again. There is no such of a thing as a cultural holy war being raised against the Christians. Let me expand. God does not need the one great power of the universe, if I'm speaking from a Christian perspective, does not need warriors. Jesus told Peter, "Put your sword away. Put your sword back in its place." Well, let me explain therapeutically what's actually going on here. I was debating both in person as well as on a show, a YouTube show, a lady who claimed that yoga, of all things, was somehow secretly dark and satanic. Her guest was someone who said she was a former witch, and she then found the dark side and became, and I'm quoting her, the guest said, became a, quote, blood witch, casting horrible spells on people and etc., etc. Her other guest was some sort of character referring to himself as a demon slayer. Now, all of them, of course, were discussing this holy war against the Christians. It was being waged. And folks, this is, and I told her, an illusion. This is an illusion created by their own mental conditioning. And that's what I'm talking about therapeutically here. It does not matter which faith or lack of faith these folks choose. Let me repeat that. It does not matter which faith or lack of faith these folks choose. They will always gravitate to the dark, fear-based side of it. The common factor in this psychological equation is they themselves. They even state it in the timeline of their show without realizing it. The one was some sort of former Hindu yoga instructor. She found Satan. The other claimed to be a Wiccan or witch and became some sort of dark, quote, blood witch, unquote. The other one was a Christian who found himself into the business of demon slaying. If these folks became 5 or 10 years down the road, if they became atheists, they would then claim that they're at war against oppressive religious people, forcing their beliefs, their mythology on them. Now, what's going on is they simply lack balance in whatever belief system they find themselves in. And they gravitate quickly, as I said, to the dark side of anything they're involved with. They'll always see the conspiracy around the corner. As proof, I'll say, why is it that many people are drawn to, say, Wicca or witchcraft, paganism, druidry, however you want to say? And it's for a reverence of nature. They're drawn to herbal medicine, natural healing, healing magic. A reverence to divine feminine, for example, or divine masculine. But of course not these folks. They're going to become, quote, as they said, blood witch. Many people, folks out there, practice yoga and have never even reported seeing Satan in the room, believe it or not. And many people who practice Christianity actually do good work to help the sick, the poor, people in need, maybe standing by the deathbeds of older folks that are passing on. There's no talk of all this defending everybody against the dark shadows around every hidden corner. But to them, it's all they see. Some people are blinded by the light. Perhaps these are blinded by a false notion of darkness, and all they see is the holy wars all around them, even if no one else actually can see them. That's not a sign of good second sight. That's a sign that you have a psychological conditioning that you need to work on. Evil has always been there. You can't have light without dark. Horrible behaviors, or read the Bible itself. There's terrible behavior in the Bible. People haven't gotten all that much more evil and towards end times and all this. Times might end, but it's not for the reasons they're saying. Can't have dark without light, and vice versa. My point is that this is all about the psychological conditioning of those going into the faith, or, like I said, it could even be atheism. And some of those folks are very much always talking as if they feel oppressed. You just say the word God and they kind of, they shiver. You know, don't do that to me. Again, bad human behavior, even terrible human behavior, it's always been with us. It's how we act in that balance and in our own interpersonal balance that matters. They shouldn't be looking for dark, mysterious conspiracies around every corner, no matter how well hidden, and well hidden might be the important part of that statement. What they should be doing is turning those eyes within and working on how come every time they join a faith, all they see is fear and combat. Is that really the extent of why you engage in a conversation with divine providence? I'm Daniel Michael. Have a good evening.